Most of the choices you make in life are largely based on the way you have been programmed, and this goes for everything from how you should think, how you should feel, how you should behave, and to how you should act in different situations. Even if you so deeply want to believe that you are indeed a free person, with your own unique opinions and philosophies of life, I'm sorry to say that human beings nowadays rarely walk around with their own free will. That you choose to eat one vegetarian meal a week, and make sure that you have a sober month once a year, but then the next minute, celebrate the weekend with a big juicy steak and a beer, because that is the only way you know how to treat yourself after a rough week at work. Surely, we all can agree that the programming in cases like this has luckily succeeded on all levels. The sleeping sheep in our society do not make choices like this out of their own free will, but because the system has over a long period of time imprinted and marked them with how they should think, feel, eat, work, socialize and go on that yearly holiday to a nice sunny country. In my opinion, our free will is long gone. Or maybe, it has never even existed in the first place. Even for those listening to this who think they have their own free will, hasn't. Take a moment and look at how your life has been. When you were little, your parents, just like any other parent, talked to you about what you wanted to be when you grew up, what subjects were important to be good at in school, how you should behave towards friends and family. You were shaped early on by those closest to you, just as they in turn had been shaped by theirs. When you reached adolescence, you may have rebelled and acted in a way that was not appreciated, but even this is part of the programming, to do what is not expected of you. When later in life you perhaps chose to go to university or began climbing that career ladder, were these choices self-chosen, or influenced and shaped from somewhere else? Or downright programmed? Where in life and in the social hierarchy do you find yourself today? Are you where you are of your own free will, or are you exactly where you are expected to be? Where you are programmed to be? If you're listening to this, you're probably someone who questions the system we live in, and you're also probably interested in various alternative life philosophies and so on, or you just know that there must be something out there something more than just eat, sleep, work, and repeat. You are a seeker. But why are you a seeker? Why are you right here and now, where you are today? Is it of your own free will? The thoughts, opinions and interests that you have, are they really your own, or have you been shaped, influenced and programmed by your surroundings, here as well? How do you know that the life you live today is the life you really want to live, entirely based on yourself and your own free will? If you have not experienced free will before, how do you know that what you are doing now is of your own free will? The fact that we do not have free will is very upsetting to many, and most would probably still claim that they do have it, at least to a certain extent. But how free are you, really, when you dress exactly the way you should dress, listen to the music you should listen to, eat the food you should eat, and behave exactly the way everyone else in the crowd you hang out with behave? Regardless of whether you belong to the sleeping flock of sheep or the community that claims they are fighting for truth and freedom, spiritual awakening or seeing through the matrix, you are influenced and shaped by those you have in your closest circle. When you fall into line and follow someone else, far ahead, then you are not free. It is usually said that human beings are still a fairly adaptable species, or shaped according to its surroundings. But if we would have free will, then none of this would happen, right? Then you wouldn't have adapted the way you do. In fact, the sad truth about adaptation is that it only means that you give up and go where the stream takes you, along with all the other dead fish. We look at animal life and think that animals have free will. They don't listen to anyone, and do exactly as they please. They follow their instincts and live in symbiosis with the circle of life, nature, seasons and cycles. Take the cat for example. How many times have you not heard, or even said to yourself, that a cat does what it wants? But when you think about it, isn't it really the case that the cat is doing exactly what he was programmed to do? What the cat does or doesn't do, it itself does not understand, but it does exactly what it is supposed to do. A cat is a cat, imprinted and programmed according to how a cat should be. Therefore, perhaps even one of the most independent animals on our earth does not have such a thing as its own free will. Even though I am of the belief that we, humans, today, do not have free will, but are marked, influenced, imprinted and programmed by everything the system has created for us to get both used and addicted to, I still believe that there are ways for us to try and work ourselves around this matrix we are in. By standing strong in your own thoughts and opinions, not letting other factors such as friends, family, social media, work, live philosophies or economic factors, affect and influence how our everyday life looks. If we really put our effort into it, we can start a journey on that path with small, simple steps, which one day could lead us to a reasonably close, so-called, own free will and independence. That road is difficult and long, but can be trailed if you know how to tackle the obstacles ahead of you. A truly free individual is the one who also feels no need to express how free he is. If you are a person who constantly goes around talking about how free you are and how much you have left the matrix, you probably still have a long way to go. Because real freedom is not a place, freedom is not something you will find out there somewhere. Freedom is not something you can create physically in communities, eco-villages, currency systems, marches, and demonstrations. The only freedom you will ever find is within you. And it is only there that you can ever be truly free.